what is up, beautiful people? Today I have a new kind of video for you guys. This is a makeup and mystery kind of video. I was trying to do these on my Spanish channel, and since I had already done the research, I thought I'd go ahead and do it here in English for you guys. I did a poll on my channel. A lot of you guys said yes, that you wanted to watch it, so here I am. If you guys haven't watched Bailey Sarian, this is highly inspired by her because I absolutely adore her videos. I have literally watched every single one of her makeup, murder, and mystery Monday videos because they are absolutely awesome. So I thought I'd go ahead and do the Chupacabra because it's something that's not well known to a lot of people here in the US. I feel like it's very popular in Puerto Rico, which is kind of what I wanted to do on my Spanish channel, but I haven't gotten the following like I do here, so we'll just do this for shits and giggles and see if you guys like this. So I will link Bailey down below if you haven't watched her. She is absolutely amazing. Like I said, she's the reason that I'm doing this video because she inspired me to kind of do these on my Spanish channel. And yeah, if you're new here, I'd love to have you subscribe. If you can hit that little red button. If you want to see more of these kinds of videos, let me know down below. Or if there's any kind of other video that you would like, let me know. My channel is kind of like flatlined for me. So I'm just like trying to experiment different things here and there. Also, I do have social media if you want to follow me over there. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I am gonna be doing my makeup at the same time that I'm gonna be talking about the story. I might jump a little bit like my makeup wise because some things are hard to do on camera as you're talking compared to like just if you're just sitting here talking. So I will list all the products that I am using down below, so I won't be talking about them. So Chupacabra is a word in Spanish. It's a made-up word, but it's made up of two words that are Spanish. So chupa means to suck and cabra means goat. So this started in Puerto Rico, which is how it got its name. Is that in the mid-90s, a lot of animals started showing up dead. And by dead, I mean not like just regular, oh, the goat died kind of thing, but they started actually, you know, showing up dead with marks on their neck, like puncture marks, like a vampire would leave. And the animals didn't have any blood in them. So it was kind of like weird. And I remember because I would always, my whole life, I have gone to Puerto Rico every year of my life, except my adult years. But when I was younger, I would go there every summer. And I remember being probably in my mid-teens or a little bit younger, yeah, probably like 12 or 11, and people would tell you not to play outside after late, that the Chupacabra could get you, and people were really scared of this thing because all these animals started showing up dead and they wouldn't have any blood and they'd have puncture marks and nobody knew what was happening. And it wasn't just like one chicken or one goat, it was like a crap ton of them. So people were like, what the hell is going on? What is killing these animals? And a lot of farmers were scared of it because they didn't know what the hell it was. So nobody knew what was actually happening to the animals or what the animal that was doing it was until 1995, Madeline Tolentino, she was the first eyewitness to actually see the Chupacabra and to actually identify it. So she came out to sources, and she's from Canovanas, and she said that she saw the animal that was killing all, like the creature that was killing all these animals. And so when she described it, she basically described a two-legged creature that hopped like a kangaroo, and it had reptile skin. And then she also said it smelled like sulfur. And not only that, but it also had like pitch black eyes, kind of like the little alien on my earrings, reason that I wore them. So people were like, oh shit, that's pretty scary looking, you know? And she said, she didn't say like a depiction of it, but it wasn't as big as like a human being. A lot of people who then further on later saw the Chupacabra or claimed to see the Chupacabra would say that it was around 4 feet tall. standing up. But other people said that this creature, the Chupacabra, was a four-legged animal, that it had a tail. So there was different variations of what this creature looked like. So there wasn't like everyone didn't see the same thing. And for most of the years, nobody was physically attacked by the Chupacabra. So nobody claimed to be attacked. Just all these different kind of animals would show up, you know, bloodless, dead, and people were worried because they didn't know what the hell was going on, basically. These killings didn't just happen in Puerto Rico. They started happening all over different kind of Latin American countries, down in the South America, also here in Texas, in the US. People started claiming that the Chupacabra had killed their animals. There was even a family in Texas who said that they actually shot and killed the animal, and they actually have it on exhibit. So we will get to that later. But you know, all these different stories came up about the Chupacabra, that people had seen it, that people, you know, had basically were terrified of this thing, this creature. There was even stories in Puerto Rico of people seeing it on their balcony, because, you know, in Puerto Rico people live out, like a lot of people live out in the mountains and in the tropical area. So it's kind of like living out in the boondocks, but in a tropical area. And they would say that they see this Chupacabra, kind of like, I don't know why, it kind of reminds me of the movie The Predator. So people would see it and claim that it came close to them, or they were able to close themselves off in their house and things like that. So people were really, really scared of the Chupacabra, and were scared that they were going to be the first victim of it. Puerto Rico actually has the rainforest. It's called El Yunque. If you've never been, it's absolutely gorgeous and you need to go. But aside from that, the Yunque has an area that is closed off, right? And people have always talked about this place. It's kind of like the Area 51 of Puerto Rico. And people say that the US government has crazy things there, or does experiments there, or does like alien things over there. And people started rumors saying that, what if the Chupacabra was an experiment gone wrong? And the US government didn't want to say anything. So people started all these rumors saying that the Chupacabra was really an experiment gone wrong by the US that was from El Yunque and had escaped. Or it was one or the other. Or it could also be a alien that they had captured, and they had it, and they had captured it and had it in El Yunque, and it escaped. So either or, it was either a creature or an alien that had escaped from El Yunque. This could never, you know, it could never be confirmed or denied because I don't think, if it really was true, do you think that they would actually say that that happened? You know, be like, oops, my bad, our creature escaped, our science experiment, or our alien escaped. Can y'all like try to capture it, you know? So people were, you know, with speculations about that, because that area is forbidden and people can't go and things like that. It's easy for people to come to the conclusion that they have some weird crap going on in there. And that basically, that's probably what happened, because nobody knew where the hell this thing was coming from. Now, there was this guy, and his name was Benjamin Radford, and he didn't believe this thing. He's like, this thing is fake. I'm gonna prove it's fake. This crap is not real, right? So he makes it his mission to prove that the Chupacabra is fake. He's like, there's got to be an explanation for this. There's no way that this thing is real. These people are making crap up, or people are just saying this just to, you know, be on the news and things like that. So he starts investigating and starts asking some questions to Madeline, who was the first person who saw it. Also, he started asking, you know, to see these dead animals, and he came to some conclusions about these animals and these these creatures that the people had seen. So first thing that he said, oh, let me get my highlighter. So the first thing that he said was that the Chupacabra wasn't really sucking the blood from these animals because lividity happens. So if you've watched Bailey's channel, then you probably already know what lividity is. But lividity is when an animal or a person dies and your body has been in a certain position for a while, all the blood like goes down to that place. Why? Because your blood isn't, your heart's not working, it's not pumping the blood, so your blood circulation isn't functioning anymore. So basically, he's like, the lividity explains why when they cut open the throat or the chicken, there's not like a gush of blood or anything like that, because you know, lividity happened and all the blood is settled down underneath the animal. So that's why these people are saying that there isn't any blood in these animals, but there is. So I don't know, because I tried to see if there was like any kind of proof to what he said, like as far as like, did he actually go and see these animals or show that the lividity was happening, but I didn't find anything. So I'm thinking that he did, but I don't know. I couldn't find like real proof of him actually doing that. But yeah, so that's what he said is the reason that this animal wasn't really drinking its blood. Another thing that they came to the conclusion of is that he says that, and experts say that, you know, blood-sucking animals are usually like, there's a small blood-sucking kind of bat or things, you know, like really small animals that can live off of just blood as their main diet. So if an animal that was probably like 4 feet or as big as people were describing it, he's like, this thing could never like really sustain itself. It would be really skinny and it probably wouldn't have any kind of energy to just be living off of blood. That's like not enough nutrients for an animal that size. So that's what they claim. So I don't know, because I guess it would just depend on their digestive system and all that jazz. It just depends on what you want to believe. But that's the logic that he started putting into, you know, trying to debunk what was the Chupacabra or is the Chupacabra. So he started coming up with that, and then people were like, well, why does it look like a reptile? Why does it have like, you know, this weird looking skin if it's just, because he claimed it was a canine. So, you know, people were like, well, why does it have this kind of weird skin if it's a canine kind of animal or coyote or kind of dog? And he said it was because they were mange. So mange animals are those that get this kind of disease in their skin. You see this a lot on like dogs that haven't been well kept, or dogs that sadly have to go into a shelter and things like that where they have to help them. And this disease is like on their skin, and it like makes their hair fall off, and it makes their skin like really dry and itchy and really, really bad. I don't know if you've ever seen one, but if you Google a manged animal, then you will know what I'm talking about. So this poor, these poor dogs, or this poor creature is probably just a manged dog, is basically what he's saying, or a manged canine species is what he came to the conclusion of. And that's why when people saw it, they saw something that had like reptile looking skin, because all these people saw these sightings at night. So he's just thinking that it is their imagination, or, you know, you live out in the boondocks in the mountains, so when you see something like weird looking at night like that, that's probably what you're seeing. But people just couldn't believe it because there was so many animals. And if you have ever had a dog, there are dogs, like my Shih Tzu did this one time, and may she rest in peace, but she grabbed a chicken in Puerto Rico. She like chased the hell out of it and grabbed it by its neck, like swung it around, and she didn't eat it or, you know, play with it after it was dead or anything like that. So that's what he claimed was what was happening, is that these canine animals were attacking these animals, just like basically biting their neck, breaking it, and then leaving it for dead. Like they weren't, you know, it's more the thrill of the hunt than actually them eating these animals. So that's what he claimed was happening, and that's why this animal or this creature wasn't really eating the animals. They were just like literally biting it and leaving it for dead. And the reason that it had the puncture marks is because most canines go for that like neck area. And the reason that what was brain fart. Oh, okay, I remember now. So the reason that he also speculated that this couldn't be a blood-sucking animal is because blood-sucking animals don't usually go for the jugular. They usually go for more of a superficial kind of vein instead of going for the jugular that's deeper in the neck. So that was another reasoning that he added to the Chupacabra, which actually, I don't know if you guys have ever been to Puerto Rico, but if you ever go in a town called Manatí, there's actually statues of what they call the Chupacabra, and it's like the little alien, and then there's a little goat in front of it. So if you ever in the vicinity, I think it would be cool to see. But they have those near the beach just to represent the Chupacabra. So previously I had talked about in Texas how they had actually caught the animal. So a family in Texas said that they saw this animal that was eating their animals, their farm animals, and they shot and killed the Chupacabra. And they actually have this in a museum in Texas. I'm gonna try to put a, oh God, this is giving me so much fallout. I'm gonna try to put a picture up here. But basically they caught this animal looking thing with these big canines in the front of its teeth, which most canine dogs have, but this one had it really, really pronounced. And so DNA test was done on this creature that they caught, and actually the DNA proved that this was a canine animal. So they said that this was the Chupacabra, and they had caught it and that they had killed it. And so people, you know, kind of came to the conclusion that if this was true, then the Chupacabra really was just a canine animal that was killing these farm animals. But to me, the only weird part is that why would it kill so many and like not really eat them, you know? Like, I know that they like the chase and the, you know, the thrill of like catching an animal, because if you've ever like, if you have a dog, then you know what I'm talking about. Like, they love chasing. Like, my dog even loves chasing like lizards and stuff to try to kill them. So I don't know, like, would it really do that to so many animals? Because the amount of animals in some of these pictures from Puerto Rico were like insane, you know, like sheep, goats, and just like a crap ton of these animals. Let me know what you think down below, because I know that this is like, it's like kind of weird to some people. Let me know what you guys think down below, if you think that this Chupacabra is real, or what your thoughts on like you know, the debunking of it is compared to like the stories of the Chupacabra. So another thing that Bradford, once he started you know, interviewing people, and he interviewed Madeline. Now remember, Madeline was the first person who claimed that she saw it, and he started asking her questions and asking her, you know, tidbits here and there about her life. He started asking her some questions. There was a very popular movie in the 90s, which if you're very young and you were born in the 90s, you probably have no idea. But I feel like most people who watch my channel are my age or older. So most of you guys will probably know that there was a movie called Species, and this movie was really famous. A lot of people watched it, and it turns out that Madeline had been the weekend before to the movie theater, and she had watched Species. Now, why does this come into play is because the animal and the creature that she described is very similar to the movie. Not like too similar, but very similar. In the movie Species, there is this weird looking reptile woman that she's like an alien. She looks like a woman, then she turns into this alien looking thing, right? And this alien looking thing is creepy as hell. And it walks on two legs. It has scales and it has spikes down its back. And it looks very similar to what she described as the Chupacabra. So for, what was his name? Benjamin. For Benjamin, it was clear that she had just, you know when you watch a scary movie, like when you watch Scream and then the phone rings, that kind of thing. So he like put two and two together and was like, oh, she had just recently watched this movie. This image was in her head. These animals were dying left and right, and she didn't know, why this was happening. And, people start talking that it's something weird, that some creature's killing them. And then maybe she saw this weird looking mange dog, and she was like, her head got to her, like her image of what she had seen in the movie was basically what she saw. Okay, I'm gonna finish up my makeup and we will finish the end of this story. Finished off my makeup, the rest of my makeup off camera. Like I said, all the products will be listed down below. I'd love to hear your opinion on this story. If you guys think that this is real or not, let me know down below. Or if you think that what Benjamin Radford, right, Benjamin? What Benjamin said made sense to you. The only thing that kind of doesn't make any sense to me is just the amount of animals that were dead in one farm. Like, I don't know, he just went on like a super rage and like just killed, 20 goats or whatever. It just seems like excessive as far as the amount of animals. But I think that it just depends, like, if you believe in these kinds of creatures or aliens or things like that, or if you don't. People will always be skeptical, like Benjamin, and try to find some kind of logic to it. And then other people are more easily, like, entertained to the idea that it could be some kind of weird alien or creature or scientific experiment that went wrong and escaped. So let me know what your thoughts are down below. Let me know if you guys like this kind of video, if you like these kinds of stories. I would love to do them for you guys. I still have to kind of get the timing right with my whole makeup situation because it is something rather new and I'm not, it's not that easy to do like your makeup and chit chat at the same time. But if you guys like these, let me know. I'm just kind of playing around with different things here on my channel. So yeah, let me know. And if you did like this video and want to see more of my content, subscribe, follow me on my social media. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.